Hey guys, this is a continuation from the video that I made the other day on the vertebrate BNPs, so the patterns that we learn as we start to develop our vertebrae. I talked about the spinal pattern the other day, where I was laying on the front of my body, lifting myself up off the ground like a cobra pose, not using my hands, and moving my spine around. So kind of embracing your inner serpent and getting those movements all from the spine. So if you think about how important those movements are when you're a child, you have this huge, gigantic head and you have to lift it off the ground. So you have to reach with your head and start to figure out how to move it around in space. So like tummy time for children. And you can also initiate movements from your tail. But what I'm going to talk about today is the homologous patterning. So this one is where we start to reach into space. So think about these patterns as being divided from your upper and lower half of your body. Reaching and pushing with your upper body, reaching and pushing with your lower body. I like to practice this. I think it's really simple for you to see. With the bolster, so you could take this bolster and place it in your hand. So it's on my upper half of my body. So this is where all the movement is coming from. So right now, without me doing anything, I'm pressing into the bolster so that I can hold it up. I want to reach up and also press up. You can reach with your hand back. It's out of the screen, but that's okay. Coming back. So I'm really reaching with my hands, my upper body, pressing with my upper body into space. You can play around with this in class, pass it along to your feet. So I just reached with my feet to get to the bolster, and then I pressed with my feet to lift the bolster up. Now I'm reaching with the lower half of my body to extend the bolster down, and you can reach back up. So that's just a really simple way to demonstrate it. Another way you can play around with this posture in the classroom setting without it seeming a little bit too simplistic, you can press with your upper body to come into your child's pose, press with your lower body to come into tabletop, making a little bit more advanced. You're in your downward facing dog. You could come forward into a plank. And for us to get our upper body strength for one of these poses, so this is like a halfway plank. You can lower yourself down and press with your hands into the ground, reaching back. Right, so you can do that with the lower half of your body too. I'm just going to come a little bit closer. So I'm bending through the lower half of my body and really pressing off. If you think about a frog, this is the best way that I can think of the way the movements happen. We have a lot of frogs around here. When the frog jumps, it's pressing with its feet and reaching with the hands. So you can play around with this in class too. It's a great way to practice a handstand prep. So here I am, just a frog sitting here, and I want to jump forward. So I'm going to press through my feet, the lower half of my body, and I'm going to reach into space with the upper half of my body. So just like that, pressing and reaching. If you want to make it a little bit longer, you can press and reach just like that. If you want it to be a little less movement in the classroom, you can press through your feet, reach with your hands, and then you're going to press with your hands, reach with your feet to come back. Right, so when I'm off my feet, I'm now pressing with my hands and reaching with the feet to come back. So these movements, although they seem pretty simple, can really help you start to repattern if you notice that you have some sort of movements that are a little bit off. And I'm going to emphasize this in each video. There's going to be 4 more videos of this. Noticing where you have trouble with some of these. So in the next video that I'm going to make, I'll show you that I have a little bit of trouble with those movements. And it just means that you need to practice it a little bit more. There's nothing wrong with you. You might have skipped that part of your development, or maybe you just didn't have the opportunity to develop in that manner. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this. I'm enjoying this beautiful day. Have a great day, guys.